It was meant as a harmless joke, a throwaway line, born from a playful mood and maybe a touch of boldness. There was no ill will behind it. Just one of those off-the-cuff comments you make when you're feeling lighthearted. But that single careless sentence, only 7 words, shattered the foundation of my life. My marriage, my home, the man I loved. All of it unraveled before I even realized what had happened. It was a cool Friday evening when it all began. My best friend, Emily, had recently gone through a crushing breakup and needed anything to distract her from the weight of loneliness that clung to her apartment. She hastily organized a girls' night, dinner at a cozy little bistro, drinks afterward, maybe even a bit of dancing to lift her spirits. It sounded like the perfect kind of escape. Laughter as medicine, glitter as armor. I hadn't indulged in a night like that in ages. Something for me. Just me. When I stepped out of the bedroom, dressed to feel human again, Nathan was stretched out on the couch, phone in hand. I had gone all in. Sleek black jeans that hugged my curves, heels that had gathered dust for months, and a bold red lipstick that made me feel powerful and alive, not overdone, just enough to reconnect with the woman I once was. He looked up, eyes trailing over me for a beat, then offered a faint half-smile. Wow, going all out, huh? Who's the lucky guy? I laughed, without thinking, tossing back. You know, just in case I meet someone better. His face changed in an instant. A subtle flicker of pain crossed his features, and the corners of his mouth dropped. The playfulness vanished. He nodded once, barely audible, muttering, right. Then he looked back at his phone. I should have stopped. Should have reached for his hand, reassured him that it was a joke, nothing more. But I didn't. My phone buzzed. Emily was outside. My thoughts had already left the room. I kissed Nathan quickly on the cheek and walked out the door, completely unaware that everything had already started to fall apart. The night swept me away. Music thumped through the bar, mojitos flowed freely, and I laughed. That real, full-bodied laughter that feels like it's stitching you back together. I danced, I smiled, I forgot. I remembered what it felt like to simply exist outside of routine, beyond the weight of responsibility. I checked my phone once, sent a quick message. Home by midnight. No reply. I didn't think much of it at the time. But when I stepped inside later that night, something felt wrong. The air was too still, the quiet too sharp. I assumed Nathan had gone to bed early. I slipped off my heels and crept into the bedroom, expecting to see his familiar shape beneath the covers. But the bed was untouched. His side of the nightstand empty. A part of me knew right then. Then I saw it. A small envelope placed on my pillow. My hands shook as I unfolded the note inside. His handwriting stared back at me. Clean, precise, unflinching. If you're out there looking for someone better, I won't stand in your way. Divorce papers will arrive tomorrow. I hope you find what you're looking for. Nathan. My legs gave out. I sank to the floor, letter clenched in my fists, reading those words over and over, each time hoping I had somehow misunderstood. I tried calling, no answer. The next morning, I drove to his brother's house, the only place I could think of where he might have gone. But Nathan wouldn't come out. He wouldn't even speak to me. Within days, I got a call from his attorney. The process had begun. Just like that. No discussions. No questions. Only silence and the sound of a door closing forever. At first, I blamed that single moment, that stupid joke. But as I sat with the silence that followed, I began to see more clearly. That sentence may have been the trigger, but the cracks were already there. I'd been distant for so long, drowning in work, emotionally unavailable, barely present. I hid behind sarcasm and smiled through my exhaustion. I never told him how I was struggling. I never let him in. Maybe he'd already sensed it. Maybe he already felt like he was losing me. And when I made that flippant remark, it just confirmed what he already feared. I keep replaying that evening, wondering how different things might have been. What if I had answered, for you obviously, instead of reaching for humor? What if I'd canceled my plans and stayed home? What if I'd turned back the moment I saw that flicker of pain in his eyes? But life doesn't hand out second chances. There are only choices, and the weight that follows them. Nearly a year has passed since that night. I still catch myself glancing toward the old driveway sometimes, hoping I might see his truck parked there, even though I know I won't. I wonder if he ever thinks about me, If there are mornings he still turns, expecting to find me beside him. Because I do. I still do. I never went looking for someone else. I never wanted anyone but him. All I really craved was to be seen again. To feel loved like I used to when he looked at me with that quiet warmth in his eyes. And now, I live with the harsh truth. Sometimes the deepest wounds come from the things we say without thinking. Not because they're cruel, but because they reveal the parts of us we've left unspoken for too long.